Imagine sitting in your truck right now. The engine is warming up, the heater is blowing, and you have got a travel mug of coffee sitting in the cup holder. Maybe you are looking out at a gray morning, thinking about the 70-foot red oak you have to take down today. You know exactly how you are going to piece it out. You can already see the rigging points. You know where you will set your block, and you know exactly how the canopy is going to behave when you make your back cut. You feel confident. In the canopy, you are the king. You are safe, you are skilled, and you are in total control. But let me ask you a hard question. What happens when you drop out of the tree and step out of your saddle? When you get back to your truck at the end of a long, exhausting day, does that feeling of control stay with you? Or does it get replaced by a sinking feeling in your stomach because your phone is full of missed calls, your email is piling up with people asking for quotes, and you still have to go home and figure out why your bank account looks lower than it did last month? If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. Today we are talking about the biggest trap in the green industry. It is a concept called the E-myth, or the technician myth. The myth is simple, and it goes like this. You assume that because you understand how to do tree work, you automatically understand how to run a business that does tree work. But those are two completely different skill sets. Knowing how to drop a massive pine between two houses without touching a gutter is a technical skill. Knowing how to price that job so you cover your insurance, your fuel, your equipment depreciation, your ground crew, and still walk away with a healthy profit, that is a business skill. When you start your own tree care company, you think you are gaining freedom. You think you are escaping the boss. But if you only focus on the tree work, you haven't actually built a business. You have just created a very stressful, high-risk job for yourself, and your new boss is a total lunatic who makes you work 80 hours a week for less money than you deserve. That lunatic is you. To build a business that actually gives you freedom, a business that supports your family and protects your body as you get older, you have to stop working only in your business and start working on your business. You have to transition from being a working arborist to becoming a business owner. Let us break down how to make that transition using 3 simple shifts in how you look at your day. The first shift is taking off the saddle. Now, I am not saying you need to sell your gear and never climb again, but you do need to change how you view your primary role. When you are a field arborist, your value is tied entirely to your physical labor. If you are up in the tree, money is being made. If you are on the ground, money is being made. But what happens if you get hurt? What happens if you throw your back out or a piece of wood catches your shoulder? If your business relies 100% on your physical body to generate income, then you do not have a business. You have a fragile income stream that is one bad day away from snapping like a rotten willow branch. You need to shift your perspective so that your brain becomes your most valuable tool, not your chainsaw. You need to realize that the hours you spend talking to clients, looking over your numbers, and organizing your schedule are just as valuable, if not more valuable, than the hours you spend dangling from a rope. Think of it like this. If you are the lead climber, you cannot also be the person on the ground managing the drop zone, watching out for utility lines, and talking to the homeowner. You cannot be in 2 places at once. In your business, you cannot be the guy doing all the physical labor and the guy steering the company towards success at the exact same time. You have to intentionally set aside time to put down the saw and pick up the clipboard. The second shift is designing the system before you rig the tree. Think about a highly complex rigging job. You have got a massive, heavy lead hanging over a slate roof. You do not just walk up to the tree, slap a rope on it, and start cutting blindly. No, you analyze the forces. You select the right ropes, you choose the right blocks, you calculate the angles, and you communicate clearly with your groundman. You set up a system that ensures the wood drops exactly where you want it to, safely and predictably, every single time. A successful business runs on systems in the exact same way. A system is just a repeatable, predictable way of doing things so that you do not have to reinvent the wheel every single morning. If you are the only person who knows how to estimate a job, if you are the only person who knows how to talk to customers, and if you are the only person who knows how to maintain the chipper, then your business is completely unsystematized. It is like climbing a tree with a rope that has 5 knots tied in it and no safety hitch. It is chaotic, it is dangerous, and it is exhausting. You need to start building simple systems for your business operations. How do you handle a new lead when someone calls? How do you send out an estimate? How does your crew inspect the trucks every morning? When you write these things down and make them repeatable, you create a system that can run even when you are not standing right there watching it. That is how you build a company that has real lasting value. The third and final shift is understanding your true canopy. When you are a climber, your vision is focused on what is right in front of you. You are looking at the next cut, the next branch, the next tie-in point. Your world is small, focused, and immediate. You are surviving the tree. But as a business owner, you have to look at the entire forest. You have to lift your gaze up from the daily grind and look at the bigger picture. This means learning to understand your numbers. It means knowing your overhead, which is the total cost it takes just to keep your doors open every day, whether you cut a single branch or not. It means knowing your profit margins and understanding the difference between revenue, which is the total amount of money you collect, and actual profit, which is the money you actually get to keep after everyone else has been paid. Too many arborists focus on revenue. They boast about doing $10,000 of work in a weekend, but if it costs them $9,500 in equipment, fuel, labor, and dump fees to do that work, they did not actually make $10,000. They made $500, and they risked a massive amount of liability to get it. That is a bad deal, and it happens because they are looking at the branch instead of the canopy. When you understand your numbers, you can make smart, strategic decisions about when to buy a new truck, when to hire help, and how much to charge so that your business stays healthy and vibrant, just like a well-pruned tree. Making this transition from worker to owner is not easy. It requires a completely different kind of discipline. It is easy to go out and work hard physically until your muscles ache and you are covered in sawdust. That feels like honest work, and it is satisfying. It is much harder to sit at a desk, look at a spreadsheet, and make tough decisions about your finances and your strategy. But that is the work that will truly set you free. Let us wrap this up with the core takeaway for today. Just because you are the best climber in the canopy does not mean you know how to keep a tree company upright, but learning to build systems is the rigging that turns your daily hustle into a deep-rooted asset. Here is your homework assignment for today while you are driving to your next job site. Look at your daily routine and identify one single thing you do over and over again that causes you stress or takes up too much of your time. It could be how you text clients back, how you track your receipts, or how you quote jobs on the fly. Identify that one thing and think about how you can create a simple, repeatable, step-by-step process to handle it this week. Stop improvising and start systematizing. Take care of yourselves, stay safe out there in the trees today, and I will talk to you tomorrow.